Fantasy football junkies. You are tuned in to the #1 source for fantasy prognostication. It's Testosterone Fantasy Sports with your hosts, Jeff and Jesse. So listen up. Here's your chance to gain the edge over the competition and dominate your fantasy football league. Every week we break down all of the matchups and tell you who to play as well as who should ride the pine. This is the joint that every fantasy junkie needs, so check it out!
Welcome everybody to Testosterone Fantasy Sports. I'm Jeff, sitting in for Jesse, who's in Mexico right now, sunning his fat belly on the beach and doing his thing on a second honeymoon with his wife. We wish them the best. So Zach is sitting in my spot, and we're locking it down. It's week 15. Zach, this season has just flown by, dude.
Yeah, it seems like every year it goes quicker and quicker. It seems like it's just week 1. Now all of a sudden it's week 15 coming up already. It's crazy.
It's crazy. We're going to jump right in and talk about our beloved Purple Viking team. They got their thing on last weekend against Detroit. It was a fantastic game. A lot of different developments happened. Gazer Chairless, I'd like to stick a needle in your eye, you prick, for the way you put that shot on Jared Allen's knee. But at the same time, Jared, you're an awesome, awesome inspiration to our team. Keep up the good work, buddy, because the way that you went after Gazer was a thing of beauty, dude. I was sick as a dog, standing on my couch screaming at the television at that guy. What an idiot. So we got your back, dude. If you need someone who can go take care of that guy for you, man, we'll take him out behind the woodshed. Dude, I mean, I'm telling you, dude, I'll take like a sledgehammer, man.
You need more
I'm so pissed at that guy. What a prick. But I digress a little bit. We also saw Gus Verrat writhing on the sideline. He got carted off the field, and Tavares stepped in, and it was the dawning of the age of Tavares. It was fantastic to see him come in, poised in the pocket, sharp passes, great connection with Visante Shenko. He's catching the ball now, and of course Adrian and Chester locking down the running game. It was a thing of beauty, was it not, Zach?
Oh, it was beautiful. Are you talking about T-Jack?
Just the whole effort.
Game, yes. Well, we got the win, and it was the Lions. We expected to win. It was a little bit closer than we needed it to be, obviously, which it always is. Not sure why, but yeah, it was great to see T-Jack come in. I mean, I know it's the Lions and all, but he came in. He completed 8 of 9 passes through a great rollout touchdown to Shenko in the end zone. Hey, and I think the main reason he lost his job in the first place because Shenko wasn't catching those balls. Right. Now he's catching them, so it's a good thing for T-Jack. And if anything, he got him confidence. He knows he can get this team down into the end zone. So
yeah, it was a fantastic full team effort. It's just what we want to see at this point in the season. And honestly, I can't remember how long it's been since we've been this viable this late in the season. Usually we're talking about where we're going to be draft status-wise in Week 15, but not this year. We're in first place in the division, sitting at 8-5, and looking really good as a full team effort. Now, the Bears continue their winning ways. While we tape here on Thursday night, they're getting ready to tee it up against the Saints in Chicago. I think they're probably going to win, and that puts the pressure on us to keep the hammer down. We travel now to Arizona, a team having the best season of their history. They're going to be amped up for this game. You know we're going to be amped up for it. It's going to be a great game. Zach, why don't you tell us a little bit about your feelings on this game, how we can neutralize the high-powered offense of Arizona, and what we can do to win this game?
First of all, I'm just glad we're playing them this week and not Week 17, because we know what happened last time we played them Week 17.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't fun to watch that
game.
As for this game, I think we're going to have to score a lot of points in this game, because Kurt Warner and Anquan Bolt and Larry Fitzgerald, they're going to put up points. They're not going to bother running. So Tim Hightower is going to be pretty much non-existent in this game. They're going to be throwing it, winging it all over the field. And I know our defense has really improved this year, but nobody's stopping Kurt Warner, and nobody's stopping those receivers. So I think in order for us to win this game, we're going to have to score at least 30 points and hopefully get a couple stops in this game. So we're going to need, Jackson's going to have to play a superb game, if not probably the best game of his career. And Adrian's just going to have to get loose, and we're going to have to grind that clock between him and Chester and hopefully keep that offense off the field and keep our offense on and give our defense as much rest as possible because they're going to need it in this game.
That's the best way to win this game. The best way to beat a high-powered passing offense is just to keep them on the sideline. We did it almost against Indianapolis in Week 2. Of course, we know what happened. They came back to win, but they're a good
we just didn't score enough
team
in that game either.
Right. We're going to need to stay on the field as much as possible. That means 4-yard carry here, here, 4-yard carry there. A lot of Adrian. Start him definitely in this game. Arizona's not that good against the ground game, so I think that's the formula for us to win. One quick note on the Williams wall. It seemed like they were very prepared for the suspension, because as soon as that happened, they wasted no time. They got in front of a judge. The judge brought the injunction against the NFL, and now the NFL league office is being very quiet about what's going on here, almost like they expected it too. And it really feels like the league office is going to let this wait until after the season is over to really get down to the nuts and bolts of what's going on with this damn diuretic. So that bodes well for us. There's still a great chance that our Williams boys will be suspended, albeit I doubt that it will happen this season. Probably next year when we're coming to you, weeks 1 through 4, we won't have the Williams wall. But this is 2008, the 2008 season.
That's the best thing we could hope for. The last thing we want is any suspension involving this season.
Definitely.
So.
On a fantasy note, if you do, probably you're in the playoffs. If you've got Kurt Warner, Anquan Bolden, or Larry Fitzgerald, you still got to go with them. The Vikings secondary is a little bit suspect against the pass, especially if the offensive line of Arizona is going to be able to neutralize the pass rush on the outside. But how much of a factor do you think Jared Allen can play in this game? And Zach, also, do you think that Allen is going to be playing hurt off the shot from Gaz or Charles?
Well, first of all, I don't know if he's going to be playing hurt. I mean, he came back in after that, and he got his 2 sacks in that game. I know they asked Trillers yesterday about the knee. He had an MRI. It was negative, but they didn't say what kind of damage it was. So hopefully it's just a mild sprain. But he did come in and he played very well after that injury anyway, and he did get his 2 sacks after that. As far as what was your first question?
How can we neutralize? No.
Probably,
no, I can't remember.
Probably how Jared Allen's effect is going to be on Kurt Warner. We're going to need him to get some pressure on Kurt Warner. We know Kurt Warner has a tendency to fumble the ball when he does get pressure on him. And what's made him so successful this year is that his offensive line has been able to really step up and hold that pocket for 4 or 5 seconds so that he can find those receivers open. And he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks there is. So if he gets time, he's going to eat you alive. So we're going to need Jared and Kevin and Pat and even Edwards on the other side to get in there, create some pressure. Maybe we can get him to fumble. I mean, last year I think he led the league in fumbles. And if we can get a couple of those turnovers, especially down in their zone, and we can get some short fields, that'd prove very vital in us winning this game.
Yep.
So,
in order to win this game, we have to bring our A game on every single level, and that means that Tavares is going to have to hook up with Bernard Berrien, Visante Shenko, and a myriad of other targets in this game to win. How do you like Bernard on a fantasy level, Zach, here in this matchup?
Well, he's tricky, and not only that, you got a new quarterback coming in. I don't expect us to throw a whole lot. And Berrien's kind of.
Well, we're going to have to.
We're going to have to, a little bit, but hopefully our running game's solid enough where we're doing dump offs to Chester and hitting Shenko. And we know that T-Jack's favorite target is Shenko. And he's actually been our main target the last few weeks just because he has a tendency to get open in the middle of the field, which is good. And we just need to get those first downs, move the chains. And Berrien's more of a deep threat. So I actually expect Sidney Rice and Bobby Wade to have a little more effect in this game, just moving the chains to get us downfield while we're running the ball. So
I've been very impressed with the play of Napoleon Harris as of late.
Yeah.
It's been great to see him. We let him go a couple of years back because we have E.J. Henderson. And as soon as we cut him, Kansas City picked him up.
Yep.
They rolled with him for a full season. He led the team in tackles, and then they cut him. Much to our glee, because now that AJ is hurt, we were able to go. He was a free agent still. I think probably it was his high price tag that kept him a free agent. But I'll tell you that it's been really nice to see his opportunistic play, and he does a nice job of getting everybody into the mix. He's not who I want to ask you about. I'm really impressed with Chad Greenway, Zach, leading the team in tackles. How do you like this kid in his development so far?
He's improved, tremendously in the last couple of years. He missed his whole first year, his rookie year. So last year was technically his rookie year. And he played solid last year, but he had, a couple down. He didn't play up to the caliber that we were hoping when we drafted him. But this year, he's totally stepped up his game. I'm sure he spent a lot of the offseason studying film, looking at what he did wrong. And this year, he's just all over the field. He's a relatively quick linebacker as far as I go, and he just seems to always be where the play is, and he makes the tackle when he's supposed to make the tackle. And he's playing pretty well in coverage. He can cover those tight ends when they come out, or those third receivers. So it's really nice to have him back there and have him having such a good year, which is huge for us, especially with EJ being out.
For sure.
And I'm excited for next year when we have Chad Greenway and EJ in there. Our linebacking core is going to be just phenomenal next year.
It's going to be great. our defensive effort has been a very, very pleasant surprise here this year. After losing Mike Tomlin to the Steelers, I was a little bit nervous we wouldn't be able to come out. But Leslie Frazier, our defensive prowess has been a real testament to his ability. He always seems to put our players in a great position to make successes, and the way he dials up blitzes is a thing of beauty. So keep up the good work, Les. We know you come from the Tony Dungy tree, and we got much love for you for that. So any other final thoughts on the Vikings here before we end this segment, bro?
Just hope they win. I mean, I got a kind of tricky situation myself because I got Kurt Warner in all my leagues. I got Anquan Bowl in a couple, so. But I'm a Vikings fan first, so I'm hoping that he doesn't. I mean, I'm hoping we're up like 40-20, so that he can start winning in the fourth quarter.
And we're hoping that this man, Antoine, can pull down a pick or two. That would be nice. Maybe a
preferably
pick
to the house. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Sweet. So, well, this is Testosterone Sports. This week 15. Stay locked and loaded because we've got a special guest, Sean Zobel, coming up right next. DraftHeadquarters.com. This is Testosterone Sports, TestosteroneSports.com. Make sure to check it out. We'll be right back after this short message. Skol Vikings!
What's up, fantasy football junkies? If you tune into this show on a regular basis, you're used to the way the format of the show flows. It's normally myself, Jesse, sitting on the set with Jeff, my best friend, my cohort and confidant. This week, unfortunately, I'm leaving on a jet plane. I'm flying out to Cancun, Mexico with my beautiful wife, Elizabeth. I'm going to be relaxing, lounging, just hanging low, sitting on the beach, soaking up some rays, and of course, probably drinking at least a few Coronas, if you know what I mean. However, I am very, very committed to the show, as always, so I wanted to come into the studio here a couple days early just to let you all know that I haven't forgotten about you. This show continues to be a labor of love for myself, for Jeff, for all of us here that put the thing together on a weekly basis. And of course, this week is a very, very important week for fantasy junkies out there. Week 15, the fantasy playoffs are in full effect. You need to continue to pay attention. Keep it right here for the duration of the hour. We want to help you win in your fantasy football league. And as always, if you haven't checked out the website, TestosteroneSports.com is the place to go. Tons of free content, free information. After this show is over, the Fat Chat will be going down. You want to jump on there. I won't be there, unfortunately, because I'll probably be lounging underneath a palm tree. But Jeff will be holding the fort down. Zach might be potentially on there. Yeasty, some other guys. There will be tons of action flying around. TestosteroneSports.com, the Fat Chat, off the hook. Make sure you check it out. And one last thing I'd like to do is show my own premiere, my love for number 69, Jared Allen. What a close call we had with him last week where we thought his knee might get blown out, but this jersey was a birthday present to me. I'm wearing it here on the show. Yes, it was my birthday a couple weeks back. My best friend Jeff hasn't even called me, didn't even wish me a happy birthday. That's okay, though, because I kicked his butt this week in a fantasy football league in the playoffs. So, it's all good. What goes around comes around. I'm just kidding, man. I'll be back next week. I love the show. Love you, junkies. TestosteroneSports.com. It's Jesse signing off. Heading south of the border, Mexico. I'll be back next week.